What's up, guys? Jeremy here, bringing you the pre-release Simic domination. This is Simic versus Boros. Yeah, that's my ERB ripoff. This is the fifth. I don't know what order I'm going to upload them in, but this is my fifth video voiceover of the night, and so I've completely gone insane. Like an hour and 35 minutes of voiceovers. My mouth is parched. I need Red Bull and possibly vodka. However, I will do what I can. So here's my opening grip. Boy, so much to say about Simic. Force adaptation, unbelievable. Just burst of strength is great. There's a lot of good things going on here. And when you have this hand in Simic as your opening hand, you're fine. You have turn 1, drop a 0/1 flyer with Evolve. Turn 2, you can drop Force Adaptation on it. And before you know it, it's going to be trouble. Not a ton of people rocked Simic. In most matches that I played, most people still played Boros. Probably the same for you. But here is, I think I went 3-1 with Simic. I felt like I got there with Simic, and a lot of times put it this way, I played so many Boros versus Boros matches, that should tell you how many people played Boros. I almost never played Simic v Simic. Maybe once, I think. And I played Simic twice during the two different pre-releases. I played for like 13 hours straight on release day. So, alright, there's Sky Jerkface is out. Not a big deal there. I'm luckily pulling land. So I've got an opportunity here now to cast and evolve, which is awesome. Just a nice little combination there. So I've got a 2/3 flyer and then another flying trample creature. I think it's 2/1. And you'll see how force adaptation really just kind of gets out of control. It can be just as fast as Boros. I really believe it can. It can be just as fast as Gruul. But I don't think it's a favorable matchup for Gruul. I don't think Simic v Gruul is favorable. Because Simic needs a little time for your creatures to beef up a little bit. And so he casts Truefire Paladin, which is a great card. It'd only be okay if it didn't have Vigilance. But because it has Vigilance, it's a great card. You can pay the mana to give it haste. You can pay the mana to make it pumped. You can pay the mana to pump it and give it haste. So now yet another upkeep, yet another 1/1 token on this creature. No land, which is unfortunate, but I still have my Burst of Strength. But I prefer to use that as a combat trick than to make my creatures bigger. In this case, it'd be nice to when he attacks to something, for example, like his Truefire Paladin or something like that, I can quick untap my 3/4 flyer. It's all of a sudden a 4/5 flyer and kill it off. It's way more value than just casting or dealing one more damage. And this is the great counterspell of early game. It just does serious work because they just can't. Most of the time you're tapping all of your land, or almost all of it, and if you have 1 or 2 creatures out, that's good enough to cancel most spells. And so now I've got my land, so I'm going to bring out my Fathom Mage and swing again. The problem here is he doesn't have any flyers. So he doesn't have any flyers. He's about to be behind big time because he takes 7 to the Dizome. If he doesn't do something about, well, really, he needs a lot of help. He is kind of screwed. Even if he could kill one of my flyers, the other thing's going to beef up to 5 damage next turn as well. And quit skis. So what can I tell you about the deck? There I've got a Aetherize, Diluvian, Primordial. Here's what I do. Like, I've got my habit. I'll just take like the biggest creature card I have and trade, or biggest cost or something, and trade it for a land, because I'm afraid of, when I win game 1, I'm afraid of getting mana screwed at game 2. And if it's something that like I didn't need, I don't mind subbing it out. Like, that card I'm probably never gonna see, and it would be unlikely to make. I mean, yeah, it'd probably make a big difference once it hits the field, but I'm better off making sure I get that extra land in there. So I've got an okay opening grip. I don't mind the flying trample creature. I don't mind burst of strength. So we'll see here. No, so land is not going to be an issue. I really like when I play Simic, if I can't get out a creature in my first 2 turns, you really got to get a creature out in turn 1, I think. If you can, you really want to get that creature out in turn 1. Turn 2 at the latest, because you've got to wait. I mean, you've got to get these things. The way it works is, evolving them. And if you're not casting shit until turn 3 or turn 4, I mean, by the time that freaking 2/1 or 3 or 1/1 evolves into anything of any value, your opponent's got 5/5 sitting out there waiting for you. So I mean, it's just not an ideal scenario. I think here, I'm really kind of looking for some help on the draw, but I'm also not too worried about taking 1 there. That's for sure. In my main phase here, and I can get a creature out. The old Simic manipulator. The removing counters, gain control of target creature with power less than those counters. I mean, I guess, but you'd have to have him out early, and you'd have to really be putting some counters on him. I had him out a few times, but I never had enough counters on there really to matter. I guess maybe if you build a deck around it, that could be. But him not casting something here in turn 5 kind of tells me he's probably flooded. Now I've got my 4th mana out. I can do a hell of a lot. I'll bring the flying trample creature instead, and then also drop a token. My poor dog sitting in here with me. He wants to escape. So this is the last one anyway. So now he's got plenty of land and only a Basilica Corpse or whatever it's called out there. So hopefully, okay. Well, Guardian of the Gateless is not a bad card. It's kind of nice because you could use it to block like 10 creatures and it would get +10/+10. But I've seen it it seems awesome in theory, but I've seen it used in practice, and it did prevent a lot of damage, I guess, which was kind of nice. But it didn't really, I don't know, it didn't do a lot of work for me. And I figured, okay, well, now I've got a flyer out there, and I remember he can't deal with fire, so I'm going to blow my my 1/1 token, Burst of Strength, and then I'll bring out the Crown Ceratox, which will hopefully then evolve again my manipulator. And he's still sitting at 20. He's still feeling pretty good. But at least now I can start swinging in for some damage. Send 4 to his dome here. And I feel like the Crown Ceratox is a pretty solid blocker if I need to. He's an okay trade attacker should he choose to block with it. But now that I'm ahead, I think I'm going to just let this damage through. No matter how hard I try, I cannot hide my aggressive tendencies, especially the way he seems so stalled. So he comes through for 3. I'll bring out this little weenie guy. Not going to do much now, but I'll cast a second creature right after it so that he evolves. And like I was talking about, you can see I have a ton of creatures, but they're all, I mean, besides me splashing a little bit of Gruul, which is really what it is. Gruul charms me. That sucked. That's a good card. Gruul Charm is good, folks. That totally slowed me down. However, he also did it to himself. So I don't know what he was thinking with that. I'm not positive. I mean, I guess it's worth it. It evens the playing field a little bit. But now I'm free to attack with my Ceratox and Simic Manipulator. Taking him down to 10. And now I've got my Drake, which he's not great, to be honest with you. But the nice thing about him is, you know, he's got a big butt, and you know, all my creatures have trample right now, which is pretty tight. Yeah, he's in big trouble now. So anyway, I have lots of dead space on this one. I'm sorry. So the Crown Ceratox does pretty good work. It's trample now, hexproof. You know, this is not looking good. It's 15-5 right now. Unless he can pull something out of his tush. Nope, it's over. So that is Simic v Gruul, pre-release styly.